Imagine that you go to an e-commerce app like Amazon.com, and there you want to check some products or buy some products. So you will log in, you will browse the products, add to the cart, and then check out. So this is exactly what we are going to do with APIs. We are going to log in, get the products, pick the products, add to cart, and then we will validate cart. So in this session, we are going to do this e-commerce flow starting from product, cart, validation, and the complete automation of the flow. And in this process we are going to learn different features of Postman and API testing. We will first create a API flow using products, cart, login, etc. Then we will also have some get and post requests in this flow. We will understand and learn dynamic data handling. How can we capture the data and then handle it or check it or validate it? We will be using variables, and we will be chaining request and response by extracting some values from the response of one API and storing it and using it in some other APIs. We will be seeing the test scripts we use and validations, and then we will be using the collection runner to automate the complete flow and also debugging and how we can use AI. So if you follow along with me and you do this mini project, you will understand this step by step, and you will already be doing what API testers do in real projects. And as always, we are going to go very basic step by step, and you can follow along with me, and there will be a quiz. You can take the quiz and let me know your score. Okay, so before we start with the project, let us see what we have already done in part 1. So if I go to my Postman, you can see in part 1 we created this collection ecom API project, e-commerce API project, and here we have already added some of these APIs. We have the login API. So here we added the login API, and here in the script we are extracting the token and storing it in the environment variable. And even before that we created the environment. I called it my environment, and here we added the base URL. This we added ourselves, and then this token and product ID is coming from the responses of the APIs. By extracting the token and product ID, we are storing it in these environment variables. So you can see here we are using get user profile. Here in the authorization we are referring the token we saved in the earlier request. Then the get products, here we are getting the product, and then we are getting a single product. In get products we are using scripts to store the product ID from the response, and then we are using this product ID in the next request get single product here. Okay, so this is what we have already done, and these are the steps we have done. I'm not going into details because this is what we did in the last session step by step. If you want, you can check that. And now we will start with part 2. So step number 1 is we are going to add a API request to add to cart, and this is going to be a post request. And let me also show you what the APIs we are using. So we are using the dummy JSON API. Let me take you there. So here these are the demo REST APIs we are using, and I will go to the docs, and in the auth we have already used some of these login, get user, etc. Now we have come to carts, and here we are going to use this carts add. Let me find this API. Yeah, this is the one we are using, add a new cart. Okay, so I will go to the collection, and we have to add this post request. So I will click on this plus to add a new request, and it has added here. I will say this is, I will give it a name, add to cart or add cart, and this will be a post request. And in the URL we have to start with the base URL coming from the environment variable, and then the rest of the part is carts and add. So I will say carts add, and as it is a post we need a body, so I will go to the body, raw and JSON, and here I will give the body. So this is what we have to give: user ID, products. We have to give the ID and quantity of products to be added in the cart, and this you can also copy from here, user ID and products. So make sure that you give a curly bracket start and stop, and this is how we have to give. So this should be in within quotes, then products. Here we have got the ID and quantity, and because we are having a single product, we are going to just end it here. All right, now here the product ID, again we are not hard coding it, we will refer it from the environment variable product ID, which is already we have saved in the environment variable, which is already saved in the here from the earlier demo. Okay, so this is done. Let us beautify it, and I think they will be let me check if they will be. We should be having here, okay, after this there should be a square bracket close and then a curly bracket close. Let us just beautify this, and yes, this is done. Okay, so we have done this. Let us just save and run it, and let us check, and yes, you can see we have got our response. We have got 201 created and we have got the response as well. Okay, now we can add test, and we can also add some script to save the cart ID. So for that we will go to the script section here and go to the post response. Now here you can, to write the tests, you can either use snippets from here. So you can see we have snippets. If you click on this, we can find a lot of tests, for example status code, etc. So let me check this status code, and here I am going to check it should be 201. This is a successful creation. And then we can also have some other tests, for example the cart has products. So in this case we will check that the length should be above 0. So let me say pm.test, and the name should be cart has products, and then of course we will start the function, and here the actual test we will just say pm.expect json data dot products dot length. So just by checking the json data, which is the response. Now json data is here, we have to get the json data first. So let me say here let json data equals pm.response.json. Okay, so now I can say json data dot length to be above 0. Okay, so this will make sure that we have some products, and then we can also set the cart ID into the environment variable. So I can say pm.environment.set, and the variable name is, let's say, cart ID, and the value is whatever we get the ID from the JSON response. So I will say JSON data dot ID. So this is referring to this ID. Okay, if I say products and then ID, this will refer to this ID, but this is referring to this ID because directly we are saying JSON.id. And in the last session, we have also seen that in case you want to get the JSON path for any JSON response, you can say extract JSON path, and you will find a lot of options like JSON path finder. Here you can just copy your response, paste it, and it will come as a tree view here. And if I want this one, I will click, and you can see this is the how it will give the JSON path, and you can just copy it from here. Okay, so let me just first save and run it and check if everything is working fine, and yes, it is fine. And if I see the test results, this one failed, cart has products. I think there is some issue here. We have let me check this one. If I check the body, okay, it is the products length. I think this is the mistake I did. JSON data dot products dot length. Let me run now. Yes, you can see everything is passed. And if I now go to the environment variable, you can also see the cart ID is now saved in the environment variable. So we have done step number 2. And here, this cart ID that we have extracted and saved will be used in the next API. So this is how we will do API chaining. Now step number 3 is we will add the request get card details, and we will get the details of this card that we have added. So I will create another API in my collection here, and this is of course going to be a get request, and I will call this get card details, and I will sorry, I have to save it. I will first add the URL, so the base URL, and then the rest of the URI is carts and the cart ID. So /carts, and then we have to give the cart ID, which we will refer from the environment variable that we saved in the last request. And yes, now I will save it, and let us just run and check. So you can see this is saying it is not found, although this cart was created in the earlier API. So if you see here, cart with ID 51 is shown as created, but here it is saying not found, and that is because these are fake APIs. It is not exactly creating this data on the server. So there are some carts which are already there. So let us say I will give something like 31. I'm hard coding this, and if I run this, and you can see this is showing me the data. So this is okay. This is just because these are dummy APIs, but this is should be working in real world. So here we will now add some tests. We can add tests like to check the status code, and also to check that the total should be more than 0. That means cart total is valid. So you can see here the total of the cart, that is JSON data, number of arrays or elements we have should be more than 0. So all this we can add. I can go to the scripts and say snippet check status code is 200, and then we can say car total is valid. I'll just copy this and call this as cart total is valid, and here I will check JSON data, which is I have to first save it, pm dot response dot body. I think it should be JSON, and then here I will check pm dot expect JSON data total to be equal to, or to be more than, to be above 0. Okay, so you can save and run and check, and yes, you can see both the tests are passed here. Okay, so we have done step number 4, and here you can see we are not just adding normal tests, we are also adding business logic. So basically here you can add whatever you want. For example, you want to check some particular total, you want to check some particular value, or the total of some particular value, you can use that. You can use AI as well here. So if you want, you can use a AI chat. You can say whatever you want to check, or whatever scripts you want to create, you can give your questions here. Okay, so now we have done this. We can check some negative conditions as well. For example, if we remove token, what happens? So you can see in the login API, we create the token, and here in the get user profile, we have added this authorization token. So if I just remove this authorization and save and run, here it is working because these are dummy APIs. Otherwise, in real world, without authorization, this will not work. So let me first just add the bearer token again, and you can see now it is saying token expired. So what I have to do is I have to first run the login API, and then this should work. So let me first run the login API, and now if I again go here and run it, you can see now it is running. Okay, So these are some negative tests that you can check. Wrong product ID. So if I say here product ID, if this says some wrong product ID like 123 something div, and I try to run it, we will say product ID not found. Okay, so you can check all these things. And then so these negative checks will be very useful and you will understand more by doing negative checks. Now let us run a complete collection. So we know that to run a complete collection, we go to the collection here, and then either we can just go here and go to run, or we can go to this run button here. So I will go to run collection, and here we have a performance test where you can add the virtual users, total duration, load profile, or we can do a functional test. So I have selected all the APIs here, everything is selected, and we have options to run manually or schedule it for later, or also use CLI. And I will go with manual run for now. You can select the number of cycles you want, any delay between the cycles. So let's go with a single cycle as of now. We don't have any data file as of now, so I'm keeping everything as it is, and let's just start the run. So you can see it has executed, everything looks fine. I can see the list view here, all the tests are running fine, a grid view here. I can see here the environment used, the iterations, duration, number of test errors, average response time, and I can go and check each and every API as well here. So you can see here all this is running fine. So here this is exactly how we work in real world. This is how we add the APIs, and how do we do chaining, validation, extraction, etc. And here we are using products to select the item, carts to add the item, then we have the cart API to verify data. We use the collection runner to automate the complete flow. And you can also use the AI, ask AI, you can say write a test to validate the cart total is greater than 100, or whatever is your scenario. You can use AI for that. You can also try yourself that what if quantity is 0, or what if the product is out of stock. So things like that, if you have a scenario like that, you can check all these things by adding the scripts, and then you will have a real world working flow like we have done now. Okay, so this is how we will do in real world. Please take the quiz and let me know your score. You will find the link in the description. I hope this was very useful. I will see you soon. Thank you for watching, and never stop learning.